Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to take a look at your June 2020 predictions. So I have 4 piles to choose from. If you haven't already, make sure you go back, meditate and pick the stack that you feel aligns with you. I'm excited to deliver these messages. I'm hoping, of course, for a shift in June 2020, as I'm sure all of you are. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, comment down below. I would love to get a chance to know you. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go on to pile number 1. See you there, pile 1s. Hi pile 1s, welcome to your stack. If you guys chose this purple oxyhedron, then this is your reading. I'm going to go ahead right now and get right into your tarot cards. So starting off here, we have the 9 of Wands as the first card. So the 9 of Wands indicates to me that you have definitely been working hard on something the last few months, and you're starting to feel like you're almost at the end of some sort of a cycle or some sort of a project. If you look closely at this lady, she's looking fairly tired. So I don't know what it is that you have been working on, but it's definitely feeling like you've put your work into something. You're reaching the end of a cycle. You're feeling a little bit tired. You might even be feeling a little bit worn down. This is definitely an important month for you to watch and guard your health, and make sure you're taking time to rest. Now, along with that, from this deck, I pulled the 9 of Pentacles. So, wow, yeah, you've definitely been working on something. We have 2 9s here. So 9s come up when we're almost they indicate we're almost at the end of a cycle. So there is something here that you are just about completing. Powerful energy here. You might even, if you are single, I am picking up this message. If you're single, you might almost be feeling like tired of being single, like you're almost ready to move out of that stage. But there is a sense here of accomplishment and of success. Like, look at her ornate outfit. Like, doesn't she look like she's accomplished something? But I do think that whatever it is you've accomplished, it is because you have been working really hard. So I think in June 2020, you have to give yourself a pat on the back for all the work you've accomplished. And make sure you are carving out some time to rest and rejuvenate, because it looks like you're almost working yourself a little too hard. Next card we have here is the 3 of Wands. Wow, okay, so you're getting ready to step through. It's like you're serving a new project or a new opportunity, and you're kind of getting ready to step through and take it, because I do feel like whatever it is that you've been working on, pile 1, you're feeling a little bit like at your wit's end. Do you know what I mean? Like, this just feels like you're kind of getting ready to drop that ball. There is another opportunity that will be presented to you here in June 2020. I am seeing about 3 weeks into June, so towards the middle of it. If this is the case, I really highly recommend that you do take it, because I do think that it will lead to a specific, to an amount of prosperity that maybe you didn't think was possible if you followed a route like this. So again, for June 2020, I am predicting about 3 weeks in, you're going to be getting some sort of an offer or an opportunity will present itself to you. If this is the case, I do recommend that you take it, because it looks like it will be quite lucrative. Yeah, you might almost be in competition for like a job or something with other people. There is a sense here of people around you. So there is a sense of being pulled in a lot of different directions. This might almost be what is creating the sensation of feeling low, of feeling tired for you. So I want you to be really careful in June 2020, pile 1, of who it is that you're surrounding yourself with, because I do think that there are conflicting interests around you. This makes you probably feel quite tired and depleted. Or if you are about to compete for something, say there's a job and there's a lot of applicants, or a scholarship or something like that, there will be a lot of people involved in this next venture. But there is almost a slight competitive stance here. So I would guard yourself against people being ultra competitive against you, or even for you, like if you are noticing that you're having those competitive feelings, I would suggest being really careful about acting out on them, because it does look like you're tired. Like this was the first card we pulled, so we have to remember that always. Page of Cups. Yeah, there is a sense here of sweetness. I do feel like even if you're starting the month off feeling a little bit tired, I do think by the third week, things do look substantially better for you. This opportunity that might be presented as well also feels very sweet. It might be something that you're not quite an expert at, but it's still worth taking is kind of what I'm getting here. It's like you might have a little bit of a learning curve here, pile ones, but I suggest that you do take this opportunity that does present itself about the third week of June, because it does look like it will yield some success for you. As well, it feels like a very heart-centered thing, so I do recommend it. Submission. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So whatever it is that you've been doing up to this point, you kind of feel like you are almost in a trap. But if you look here, if you look closely, we do have the bird cages open. So it's almost like you are the one, and it's funny because take a look, sorry, I'm just getting distracted. She's also got this bird on her hand. So it's almost like there is an opportunity here to free yourself from this current paradigm, from this current pattern you've been in. And it's just going to be up to you to decide whether or not you want to take that. Because I do feel like you are feeling a little bit low coming into June. And I think you're just almost overworked. But the universe here is trying to present to you an opportunity to help you kind of shift directions, is what I'm hearing, in a really positive way. And it's just going to be up to you. Like, do you want to free yourself from this current situation or not? Because if not, you might not take this opportunity. But I do feel like this will really push you into a whole different realm. So I do recommend you taking it. Order. Yeah, wow. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Let me just take a look at this. Like, I am feeling like there is a sense here that the divine is really orchestrating this on your behalf. Okay, pile one. So what I want to say here is it's really imperative that you consider this offer when it does come up. And I am getting an offer of like a project or a job. It doesn't really look romantic, although it may be for some. But I am feeling like this is a sense of divine order. Like the divine has really set this up for you, and it just wasn't the right time for you to have this opportunity before, but it is the right opportunity now. As well as some of you may want to spend a lot of time outside, particularly planting. This does come up here as well, because look at all those like little rows and rows of plants, where there might be a real need to do a little bit of cleaning or ordering of your own environment, both internal and external. And if you are in a place where you can do a little bit of renovation or cleaning or just restructuring your home, I would think that June would be quite a good month to do that. And we have escape. Wow. What a powerful card. Yeah. An opportunity to escape this current, this feeling stuck, this feeling so low. I do really sense something else will happen for you. I do think that you'll have a big chance come up here in June 2020. But I want to say as well that you might even be, how do I want to put this? Dealing with escapist tendencies. So I would say watch for overindulgence in things like food, alcohol, Netflix, anything that kind of dulls the mind is what I'm picking up here, because there is a need here. It's almost like you feel like you need to escape from your daily life. So you might be turning towards certain addictive patterning in order to help you do that, pile one. So if that's the case, there is a request here from your spirit guides that you kind of, be careful of what it is that you're indulging in the month of June 2020. Because I'm getting the sense almost that it will exhaust you further, and we don't want that. Like, we want to shift out of this Nine of Wands into the next phase. We don't want to be stuck there. Freedom, and I do want to point that this card came out in reverse. It says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. What did I say? Pile 1, it's like you have been stuck in some way. Where's that submission card? You have been stuck in something. Something has really been holding you back here, and it's really time for you to step into your own power. And this does, for some of you, involve, I'm hearing, a big shift in perspective. But in June 2020, there will be an opportunity for that perspective shift. There will be something tangible presented to you, which will help you align yourself with the idea of freedom, because you have been feeling so stuck for so long is what I'm getting here. And it's so important for you to shift out of this, because I am hearing the message that there's massive things meant for you, but it's like you've been playing small for so long. And I'm sorry, that's kind of harsh, but that's what they're wanting me to say here. Every room in my home makes me smile. Wow. Yeah, okay. So some of you might have a cat. It's also what I'm getting here. If you have a cat, they really are looking out for you. But there is a big need here to really focus on ordering your home. Something about the space you're living in, like maybe it's cluttered, maybe you haven't given it a refresh in a while. It just feels stagnant to me. So I think that moving things around in your space, your physical space, will really yield such good results for you in June 2020. So I highly recommend that you do it, that you do some kind of restructuring of the home. I think that will really help you shift into this as well. Because honestly, pile 1, like just looking at these cards, I do feel like June 2020 is a big shift month for you. It's a big shift. Should you choose to accept it, I think that you will be going into the summer in a totally different perspective. But that is, of course, only if you're willing to take this opportunity and step through and accept whatever it is that's being offered to you here. So that's what I have for you, pile 1. If this resonated, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to get a chance to say hi to you, and I will see you next video. Have a good day. Bye, you guys. Hi, pile 2s, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this little carnelian stone. This is your reading for June 2020. So we're going to go ahead and get started here with the tarot. Page of Cups. Beautiful. Okay, so right away going into June 2020, there may be some people here having birthdays. I am picking that up, but there is also a really fun light energy that will lead you into June 2020. It does feel like there is a lot of joy surrounding you this month. There might even be some sort of sweet encounter. This could even be romantic, is kind of what I'm picking up here, although the rest of the cards we'll have to look at. But either way, going into June 2020, I feel like you're probably feeling quite good. There is renewed energy. You feel kind of fun. Like this is a fun, light energy. I like this feeling a lot. It feels really good. The World. Wow. Yeah, so pile 1, you've not always had this kind of fun energy. I get the sense here like you have just closed off a huge cycle. So if this is the case, I want to wish you, or say congratulations here, because it's like, it feels to me like you've really worked super hard at something and you've come full circle. So again, I am getting birthday, but I am also getting some kind of a graduation or celebration around that, or just you essentially leveling up in your life. So it feels like you've really put a lot of work into something, and now that cycle is done. You've really cleared something out here. And because of that, you're able to have this like really beautiful light energy accompany you into June. So this feels like really good. And yeah, I don't know what you did. We'll have to see if I can get a better read, but Spirit is wanting me to congratulate you on putting in all that work. 8 of Pentacles. Wow. Yeah, what did I say? Pile 2, you have been working really hard on something. And I do feel like this will continue into June. There is a sense here like you're kind of focusing on a project, you're focusing on getting something off of the ground. You are probably quite a studious person. But in June 2020, there will be something you're working on. So that is 100% indicated here. But it does look like whatever it is you're working on, you're going to enjoy it. So I'll have to take a look at the other cards, but it does feel like You might even be learning something new at your job, or you might have like a renewed sense of sweetness at your job. Or if you are entering a new job where you've been offered a position, that position will be quite fun for you. And yeah, it just feels like it's coming from an emotionally based place. So it feels like really heart focused. I like the feeling a lot, honestly. It feels really good. Queen of Swords. So you may be dealing with an air sign woman. So we have here Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Somebody in your environment is quite direct, or this could be you in June 2020. So if this is the case, there is somebody around you who is very smart, highly intelligent, again, can be quite direct, doesn't mince her words. And of course, when I say her, please remember that energy is fluid and it can apply both ways. But there is a big urge here, or a big push to use your brain. So you might even be tapping into different areas of thinking like you're not normally used to. You could even, and I'm getting this sense here as well, like you could have just completed some sort of a course or program, because it looks like you've been putting a lot of work into something in a really intellectual way, is what it feels like. So as well, in June 2020, you may have a new project you're working on, which requires a lot of thinking, a lot of manpower. It's like there's something you're really focusing on, to not mince words, but that's pretty much what it looks like. In June 2020, there is something that you're really focusing on. Ten of Pentacles, yeah, wow. You could be working for a family business, or you could want to be working for a family business, or you could be working with your family on something. This could also indicate a restructuring here of family life in some way. If you are in the position where you are a mother, or you're in a parenting position, there is a restructuring of the way you're going to be handling your children in June 2020. But this is a success card. So again, I am feeling really like good energy to this. It does feel like you're kind of getting a little bit of a karmic reward here in June 2020 for something you've really been working hard on. And it feels really good. Egotism. Look at this like little peacock man. So one thing that's really important to watch out for here, group pile 2, in June 2020, is that you don't want to be coming at things from a place of ego, right? Like you don't want to be, it's okay to be proud of your accomplishments, but you don't want to be flaunting that in the face of others, because I do feel like you're probably quite a strong, multi-layered person. I am getting that energy. There is something that you are totally supposed to be proud of in June 2020, and I feel like you should take a moment to really congratulate yourself and enjoy and celebrate. But there is almost a tendency here to push people away with your ego. Or this could also be someone around you who might really end up alienating you in June 2020, because they're coming at things from a real big ego perspective. Adaptability, yeah. This is a beautiful card too. There is really a strong need here to be adaptable, particularly in the workplace or on whatever project it is that you're working on. I'm getting here. I think in June 2020, there will be a need to kind of restructure something or shift gears a little bit on a project you're already working on. And you might almost be feeling a little bit stuck, like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make this shift. But it is really important in June 2020 that you are adaptable, that you go in with an open mind, and that you're able to switch course. Because I do think that if you do get stuck, you might just need to shift gears a little bit. And I don't want you to not be able to do that shift because you're like too stuck here in the ego. Do you know what I mean? This is too funny. Isolation. Yeah, well, isn't this just the reading? You know, isn't it just the time of the year to pull an isolation card? So, although I don't really feel here like there is, I do feel like you've been working on something with someone here. It does feel like there has been a group of people involved. Maybe it is time for you to have a little bit more alone time. Or if you have been isolated, I feel like in June 2020, you're now going to be encountering a lot more people than before. So it does feel like your month feels like it's full of people. It feels like it's full of conversation. It does feel very full, but the main theme for June 2020 is work. That is what I'm picking up here. This card, actually, it's a work affirmation, which is funny. It says, I am focused, organized, and easily able to honor the priorities that need my attention. Check out that cat. Beautiful cat. Yeah. So, yeah. Pile 2, I just get the feeling like you're super focused on something in June 2020, and like you are not going to stop until this project is done. So that really is what it feels like. It just feels like June 2020 is going to be preoccupied with some kind of work. And I think that's really neat, to be honest, because I feel like this is something that you like. Like, I'm not getting the sense here like you don't enjoy this project or you're not happy to be working on it. In fact, quite the opposite. I do think that this project or opportunity or thing you're working on is bringing you quite a lot of joy. Just make sure that you're focusing on what needs to be accomplished first, and then you're focusing on other things after, because I do think that will help propel you through the month of June 2020. Relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Wow. So yeah, there is a small message here. I don't feel like it's a big, strong message, but there might be somebody coming in here in June 2020, which is kind of a soul-based contract is what I'm feeling here. This could be a romantic partner or a group of friends. So reconnecting with people who really do feel like soul family, or like you really have a strong connection with them, will be incredibly beneficial to you in June 2020. So if there's a chance for you to go to a party, if there's a chance for you to go to a wedding, and you know, I don't know where you guys live, everybody here is in slightly different, everything's slightly different. I would recommend doing it group 2, because I do think that you're going to be meeting and interacting with a lot of people who are really part of your life in a big way. And yeah, it's like you have a soul family around you. So you have a lot of people in your life that are part of your soul tribe. And if you have been wondering, are these people part of my soul tribe? Let this be your affirmation, or your confirmation is what I meant to say. Sorry, guys. But either way, I do think in June 2020, you'll be interacting with a lot of people in your soul family. So group 2, that's what I have for you. Please comment down below if this resonated. I would love to hear all of your stories about June 2020. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next video. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. This is your reading. You chose this little green stone. Welcome to your June 2020 reading. We are going to go ahead and get started today with the tarot cards. So first up, we have the Sun. Beautiful. So I love the Sun. It's my favorite tarot card of the deck. It just screams optimism, joy, happiness. Look at this card. What a beautiful card. Right off the bat, Pile 3, I feel like June 2020 is going to be a wonderful month for you, filled with a lot of joy, with a lot of happiness. There's going to be so much pleasure around you, and I just think that it's going to be a really beautiful month overall. This is a really great card to pull. You might even be a Leo, Sun, Moon, or a Rising. Just with pulling that card right off the bat, there is a real big need here in June 2020 to shine your light in whatever capacity you can. I just feel like you're such a joy, you're such a pleasure to be around, and in June 2020 it's really important that you shine your light for other people. Knight of Pentacles. Wow, yeah. Along with that, I do feel like there has been something here that you have been working on. You've been building something here slowly and steadily. Something that has been bringing you a lot of joy. So in June 2020, I feel like you're going to start to see some of these things come to fruition. King of Wands. Wow. Yeah, again, you might be a fire sign, so I have to say that here. Leo, Sag, or Aries. I am picking up real strong fire here. But either way, there might even be somebody in your life, a fire sign, that will be of immense significance in June 2020, because this energy feels very, like, look at the way he's looking at us. So I feel like there is somebody who has their eye on you in June 2020. This could even be someone romantically who is wanting to build a partnership with you, wanting to build a union with you. And if so, this is something that you've either been working on for a long time, or it's going to take a long time to build. But wow, you are in such a good state here. Let me see what else we have here for our tarot cards. Strength. So again, strong fire sign. Strong fire sign energy here. Okay, pile 3. You have been through so much in your life. I'm seeing that here with the 10 of Swords, that in June 2020, it is really your time to shine. I am picking that up so strongly here. It's like you are finally getting a chance to shine your light, and I think that you're going to do that even though you've gone through some tough stuff. There is also, I'm getting here, a lot of different people around you in June 2020, because look, we have 3 other court cards here. King of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. So there's just going to be a lot of people you're going to be interacting with in June 2020, and some of them might even be trying to dull your shine. Some of them might really be trying to dull your sparkle. But you're just like, yeah, you're not going to have it, because you are coming out of this stage of feeling really at your wit's end and at this really, really low point. And I feel like for you, June 2020 is representing a turning point. I also do feel like you might even be letting these people go, or one of these people go, because they're just not serving you anymore. So there is almost a sense here. I am feeling like this could be a romantic reading on some level. There just feels like there's a lot of energy directed at you, pile 3. I think people really have their eyes on you in June 2020. So because you're just out there, excuse me, you're just out there shining your light like a beautiful, bright goddess. And then you're obviously attracting a lot of attention. Practicality. Yeah, so if there are other options available to you, especially romantically in June 2020, I am getting that you're going to be wanting to gravitate towards the one option that is more practical than the others. So you might have energies here that feel a little bit more flashy. Okay, they might even be a little bit more like, yeah, flashy, like leading kind of with the ego. And the person you're going to want to pick, or the person you're most gravitating towards, is the practical option, or no option at all. Yeah, pile 3, you've really worked so hard to get to this independent place that you're at now. I feel like you've really gone through a lot of stuff recently. Like, it feels like the last few months have not been easy for you. And so I want you to take a moment to acknowledge that and to give yourself a pat on the back so that you're able to move forward in a really positive and loving way, because you've put the work in. You weren't always the sun, but you're deciding, now I want to be the sun. Now I want to be this bright. And because of that, I think that it's really important for you to acknowledge that. Risk. Wow. Yeah, so excuse me. In particular, I'm getting that one of these options that is presenting themselves to you romantically is quite risky. And I feel like it's almost this King of Wands energy. Pile 3, you may also be doing something risky, or kind of like walking the line of something in June 2020. Like it feels almost like you know what you're doing could be wrong, but you still want to do it anyways. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't get it's anything major or illegal, but it's like something is really going to spark something in you. So if you were thinking about taking risks in June 2020, I just want to caution you to be careful, obviously. But in terms of these people, I think that there was a lot of people who have their romantic eye on you in June 2020. And I think your heart is telling you to go towards the more practical option. Although I am feeling like you really want to branch out and exert your own independence as well. Like that feels like a big thing that you've really worked hard to get to this point where you feel independent, you feel strong, you feel like you can stand on your own two legs. There is almost this energy of like, you really don't need any of these romantic options. You might want some of them, but I don't get the sense here that you need them. That's not the feeling I'm getting. But because I did cough a couple of times here in this reading, I am almost feeling as well like you might almost have some throat chakra blockages. So if that's the case, I do think it's important for you to do some singing, humming, writing, journaling, something to help move that energy. Because we do have here health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So health is somehow going to be a big thing for you in 2020. I do want to say here, if you've not been feeling well in June 2020, it's really like you're turning a corner, because again, the sun is a really, really beautiful, positive card. So I am feeling like you're going to be shifting into a completely new level of your health. So if that has been a concern, I do want to include that here because it is coming up. Yeah, it's almost like taking care of all aspects of yourself will be important in June 2020. Body, mind, and spirit, because I do think you've done a lot of work on yourself, and that is why you're attracting the energy from these dudes or from these women, right? Because it's like you've put in the work to get to this point for yourself. And I really see that you have turned a corner in a lot of aspects of your life recently. So it's like you're getting ready to reap the rewards. Card we have here says, I'm a respectful, loving person who cares deeply about how I treat others. People feel safe around me. Pile 3, it's almost like you have some sort of angelic energy to you, and a lot of people are magnetized to you. And I do feel like this will be the theme for you this summer. So I want you to know that while you might not even end up picking any of these people, people really, really admire and respect you because you've put in the work and because you've snapped into a whole different level of life. You've really leveled up. That is what I'm hearing. Like, I just feel like you deserve to enjoy this. You deserve to enjoy this health and this beauty and the sunshine. Going outside will be really important for you in June 2020. And it's also okay to take a little bit of a risk, you know, and not always be so practical. So pretty much pile 3 in June 2020, I want you to have fun. I really think it's important that you try to have as much fun as possible because you're going to be in such a beautiful light energy that I think that will help make June 2020 a whole new ball game for you. But when I'm looking at these cards, I'm looking at someone who has put in the work. So if you've been wondering, like, am I going to shift out of this energy ever? Yeah, you are. June 2020, you're really going to be in a totally different feel. Like, it feels like it's going to be such a fun month for you. Filled with a lot of people, though. A lot of different people will have their attention on you, but the energy feels good. Okay, pile 3, that's what I have here for you. Please comment down below. I would love to hear if this resonated, and I'll see you next video. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this stone, this is your reading. We are going to be taking a look at what does June 2020 hold for you. I'm going to start today with tarot. The Lovers, first card. Wow. So you could be a Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, or you could be dealing with a Gemini in the month of June 2020. If that's the case, happy birthday. Or in June 2020, there is a decision you're hoping to come to. There has been something weighing on your mind and it's time to make a decision. We'll try to take a look at what that is, but it does feel like there is this sensation of being pulled into different directions. So you might have been trying to make this choice for a little bit of time here. This could be a decision you're like, oh my gosh, I need to finally make this choice. But either way, there is something weighing on your mind where you're really trying to get a feel for like which way to go. And you might not even know. You might be feeling fairly indecisive starting June 2020. Yep, what did I say? The Hanged Man is the next card. So, wow. Pile 4, this is some big energy. These are major arcana, so very, very cool. Okay, so pile 4, I feel like there's a decision you've been putting off making, and this is a decision that you've been putting off making for quite some time. So I am feeling like in June 2020, you might be making this decision finally for once and for all. I do have to say this because of this card right here. This could even be a decision between two people romantically, or it just feels like a really big decision in your life. You've thought about this decision, you've looked at it from different perspectives, you've held on to both of these people or opportunities. You've somehow kept them both in your life, but oh my gosh, it is time for you to make a decision because it's time, honestly. It's like you have done your due diligence thinking about this choice. This has really stagnated you, I'm hearing, pile 4. This has really created a sensation of feeling stuck and unable to move. And I feel like it's impacted a lot of your life, like in more ways than one. For instance, if this is like a romantic situation, let's say, I feel like it's also really affected your work life, your health. Like I just feel like the stagnancy of not making this decision is weighing really heavily on you, and not a healthy way. Yeah, what was I saying? 4 of Pentacles. You're holding off on making some decision, and I am almost feeling a sense like you've been trying to hold on to 2 things in your life, but it's not working. It's not working for you, and it's not working for whatever these options are. So this just makes you feel like you don't have enough, or like if you have to make a choice, you're going to lose everything. Like look at how closely this man is holding on to this pentacle. He does not want to let go. So I am sensing here that in June 2020, you're feeling like if you make a choice on something, you're going to lose control. But you know what, pile 4, you're really being urged to make this choice and to follow your heart and not always follow the more practical option is what I'm hearing here. There is really a need here for you to make this decision and this choice for once and for all in June 2020, because what you're doing, you're holding back your own life, and you're holding back your heart, and you're holding back your happiness. So pile 4, I don't know what this is yet. Let me pull this other tarot card, Temperance. Wow. Okay, you guys have 3 major arcana. So June 2020 is going to be a big month for you. Look at this. But it is time to make a decision because you are literally holding back your own healing by not making a decision in whatever aspect this is. It's like you're creating a feeling, you're blocking your own success by being unable to pick one of these options. And you're really blocking a lot of your chakra points is what I'm hearing. You might be having ill or poor health because of your inability to make this choice. You just kind of feel like really stuck, pile 4. And I do think in June 2020 this is going to shift for you because it needs to shift. There's such healing waiting for you on the other side of this that it's just like Spirit really wants you to step through the door and like accept this healing. And really the biggest thing I'm getting here is like it's imperative when you do make this choice that you're following your heart. Like what will bring your heart happiness. It's not always about what will bring you the most happiness on the outside, but sometimes it's about how do we nourish our souls so that we are feeling happy and well taken care of in that aspect. I swear, pile 4, I can't even make this up. Choice. What did I say? You guys are really stuck in something here, and I'm feeling more like this could even be 2 people. But holy smoly. Pile 4, you have to make a choice in June 2020, okay? You're really holding your life back, and you're holding back a lot of people too. A lot of people feel like they're really involved in the situation. They're really involved with you, and it's like they're almost waiting for you to make some sort of a choice. Loss, yeah. You understand inherently on some level that making this choice will lead to a loss. But pile 4, that's just the way, that's the way life is, you know. Sometimes you have to let go of something in order to find something, in order to find your heart, and in order to find your healing. You'll have to let go of something. And this will be hard. This will be hard in the month of June 2020, but it's also crucial to your growth, because you've not been growing, is what I'm getting here. For at least, I'm going to say half a year, it feels like. It could be longer, could be up to 4 years. You've been feeling super stuck in all aspects of your life. And it's like, I feel like you're getting tired. You feel weary to me. But then look what happens. Excitement. Wow, look at that card. That looks fun. I want you to realize that making this choice will lead to you feeling that spark of life again. Because I do feel like for the past half a year or so, you've not really felt very excited about life. It just feels like your energy has been really dense, really heavy, and yeah, just like, again, that stagnancy is what I'm picking up on. But I do think that you making a choice in June 2020 is really going to propel your life to a totally different area, to a totally different level, and it feels really exciting and it feels really good. So pile 4, I want to support you in this choice because it's time for you to make it. Service. If I feel good when I can help others. Beautiful card. Look at that. Pile 4, I think one thing you really need to think about next month too is how can I help other people? Because looking at these cards, I am getting the sense of almost you getting lost in your own problems. And I think you need something outside of it to offer you a little bit of perspective. So helping others in some way is also going to be very healing for your own heart. So if there is a project or something around you, some sort of a volunteer or charity group that you feel you can support in the month of June 2020, I'm highly recommending you do so, because I just feel like this will bring you such perspective and such positive reinforcement from something outside of the situation that you're going to feel really, really good, and you're going to feel like your cup has been full, because for a long time you've not felt that. But also it feels like you've almost been obsessed with your own problems, right? So sometimes just shifting perspective a little bit and reminding ourselves that there's stuff outside of our own bubble is really, really helpful. Spiritual health. I notice the beauty of nature every day, and it fills my life in delightful and delicious ways. So also connecting with nature. Spend some time alone in June 2020, especially if these are people you're dealing with. Go on a retreat. Spend some time alone. Really look at your heart, and really, I feel like you're almost at this, you're at the stage where you just have to make this decision. And I feel like it's going to really come to a head in June 2020, pile 4. So I think that once you make this decision, it's just going to be such a relief, and your life is going to spark and fill with such joy. But I just feel like you're the one who has to make the choice. You're the one who has to make the decision. And doing so will really help. Helping others will really help. Getting in nature will really help. And yes, you might have some sadness and you might have some loss that comes with that. But also, there is such a bright, beautiful beginning waiting for you, pile 4. So it's just up to you to make that decision, make that choice. So that's what I have for you, pile 4. I would love to know what you're choosing between, because wow, was this a very singular message. Comment down below, and I will see you in my next reading. Have a good day. See you then. Bye.